Sorry about that. My hotspot got low on juice, so I had to plug it into my power pack. And the church's Wi-Fi is not really strong.
And what we're talking about is the fact that people have fled
The questioner was asking about deportation and stopping the misconceptions about immigrants from various locations about
in general. It says that when somebody is forced to flee their country because they and their families are unsafe back home, they could be killed, they could be illegally imprisoned. That to me is what refugee status is about, and I think we have a moral responsibility to protect those people, and that's right.
My name is Eugene Lin. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Illinois is sinking into economic catastrophes because of budget cuts. And I am a hard-working, college-educated American whom budget cuts could kill. I receive Medicaid, which helps me with my depression treatments. And I'm very precariously employed at an underfunded homeless shelter where I help the homeless go back to school and find jobs. So my state-funded shelter turns people away and lays staff off every month because decades of tax dodging by Illinois' wealthiest broke our state budget, which corporate Republicans and Democrats alike refuse to balance by taxing 1% more. Instead, they shut shelters like mine. They cut Medicaid programs like mine, and they defund every public good. Rich people and corporations abuse our political system. Seeking profit, they buy public office like our own Governor Bruce Rauner did with $30 million of his own finance capitalist cash, and then they push budget cuts. And then they push tax laws that lift their profits but stifle the kinds of targeted investment strategies we've been talking about today. So all of this is called austerity. Senator, how will you fight big money in elections? And how will you raise revenue to fight big money's austerity politics?
Thank you. The story that Eugene is telling about Chicago is the story being told all over America. What we have is massive income and wealth inequality. Eugene, what I know you know, is that over the last 30 years in this country, there has been a massive transfer of wealth, a redistribution of wealth from the middle class to the top 1/10 of 1%, who have seen in that 30-year period a doubling of the percentage of wealth they own. Middle class is shrinking, real wages are going down, percentage of wealth owned by the top 1/10 of 1% has gone. What I believe is that now is the time to reverse that trend. So we have a series of proposals, and we'll have more, which demands that the wealthiest people and the largest corporations start paying their fair share of taxes in our country. Right now, you have major corporations making billions of dollars a year in profit, who are stashing their money in the Cayman Islands and Bermuda and other tax havens, and in a given year they're paying a nickel in federal taxes. Okay? We are going to make them pay their taxes. That's $100 billion a year. are going to impose a tax on Wall Street speculation. And there are other proposals which will bring in a very substantial sum of money into this country, which will go back to the states and the cities to create jobs and to protect the most vulnerable people in this country. But the bottom line is, as I said earlier, if I am elected president, the billionaire class will know that the days in which they have it all is over.
There's one last question for the afternoon from Jerome Diller from Madison, Wisconsin.
Good evening. My name is Jerome Dillard, and I came here today from Wisconsin. I am a member and an organizer with Expo, Ex-Prisoners Organizing. And I'm also a representative of the formerly incarcerated people and convicted citizens, formerly incarcerated citizens and convicted people movement and their families, a national organization with many different organizations across the nation. I stand before you today as a formerly incarcerated citizen who served 2 terms in both our federal prison system and state prisons. And I want to say during that period of my life, I've witnessed hundreds and hundreds of young men coming through the prison doors, some with extremely long sentences for drugs, and others just cycling in and out of that system. It is through that experience that I began to do the work that I do. And many of our young people in this nation, in my community, do not feel that they're even part of America. They dare to dream, and once individuals are tagged with arrest and conviction records, their opportunities come few and far apart. I can say, being an impacted person who once was a returning citizen, I understand the barriers of returning to my community. After hundreds of applications, I never got a call back. Eventually, I did wind up with a dishwashing job. I know that 90% of the employers do background checks, and the results of that is many individuals, families, and communities are being discriminated against and left in pride.
You're right.
I know that President Obama took an initiative, used his executive authority to ban the box. My question to you, Senator Sanders, is,
Forgetting that box
when you're elected,
on initial
will you use
applications
executive authority, I would say in the first 100 days, to ban the box for
whether they have
those
been either convicted of a crime,
corporations who have contracts with the federal
convicted of
government?
any crime, or even arrested?
Yes. Thank you very much for the enormously important work you are doing. You guys have assembled quite a panel. What Jerome is touching on is a huge issue. And it has to do with the fact that A, we have so many people in prison, and then B, they get out. And people get out, they don't have, and they can't get jobs. So if you can't get a job and earn an income, you know what? There is a real likelihood you're going to go back to your old environment and end up back in jail again. Not too bright. So I think the answer to your question is yes, we've got to give people a fair shot. and getting their feet back on the ground again, getting back into their communities and earning a living. And let me touch on another issue. There are many, many hundreds of thousands of people who are felons in this country, who serve their time, but don't have the right to vote. I don't have the exact number in my head, but it is a shockingly high number of African American men who have lost their right to vote and participate in American democracy. Now, I believe if somebody does his time, he's paying the price, he doesn't lose his democratic rights.
He is shaking hands with the people on the stage.
I'm going to do a couple thank yous, but first I want to say every time we fight for justice, when we step into the arena, the public arena to fight for justice, we go toe-to-toe with corporate power. We've got to fight corporate power, we've got to rein in corporate power, we have to smash racism, and we have to build people power. That's how we're going to get it done. I want to a couple of thank yous. First of all, thank yous to all the CCI Action staff and leaders. And I'm going to see everybody's name up here. CCC Action staff and leaders. Members of the community organizations that came throughout the region, thank you. All of the leaders on stage that participated, please stand up. They put their heart and soul into this. They laid it out with vision and values, and they know, please keep standing, they know that this is about the movement. So when you go caucus in 23 days on February 1st, or if you're voting in New Hampshire in primary, or if you're in South Carolina, or if you're in Nevada, you're in Super Tuesday, this is not just about the candidate, this is about the movement. The people are going to create big change. Democracy starts and stops with people. Demos. We elect people to office, we hold them accountable. So when you caucus, when you vote, it's about the candidate, but it's about the movement. We have to keep building the movement
24/7, 365, all the time. I say rise up, you say fight back. Fight back. Rise up. Rise up. Very good, stay standing. We're gonna do one last chant to close this out, and then, does everybody remember Occupy? Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
We believe! We believe that! We believe that we believe that we will win! We believe that we will win! We will win! Thank you, everybody. Remember, it's about the movement. Let's go get them.
I think that will do it for this. I am going to go ahead and take my... There might be some names underneath the chairs that they got put under because they were sitting on stage or they were here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take my stream down, and then I'm going to work on trying to get a ride over to the fairgrounds for a Bernie Sanders event there. But in the meantime, please check out my donation site at gofundme.com/OccupierKaylin. That's KAYLYNN. Again, gofundme.com/OccupierKaylin. Or you can go to PayPal.com, and then the send money to line, enter the email address STRAINSOP@AOL.com. Again, PayPal.com, and the send money to line, enter the email address STRAINSOP@AOL.com. That will help me cover the cost of my live streaming and broadcasting, so I can continue to bring you these events live and unedited, not always uncut in case I have a signal loss. But so if I can get right over to the fairgrounds, 6 p.m. Central, more of Bernie Sanders so they can feel the burn.